A very good afternoon to all my dear students. I know how eagerly you have been waiting for the class. Mr. Elfi Thangal, I've read your message and I'm so glad to see all your good afternoon wishes. Ananya, Nikita, Aditi, Soumya, Anusha, Ritu, Pramod, Mehak, Aditi, Lapri, Taran Kumar, all of you. A very good afternoon, and I know you have revised. Your sale of goods is now done. It's completed. We have done the first chapter of Indian Partnership Act as well. So today, before starting the second chapter of Indian Partnership Act, I thought, meanwhile others are just joining, Mr. M, Gauda, Ankita, Samina, Sunil, Kushal, Gufran, good afternoon, children. So I thought maybe we can have a small test. I can ask you questions. I can judge your knowledge. And this will help me to analyze how much my students have been revising and how much they have been studying. So let us go through few questions given in the study material. Many a time, children, MCQs which are given in the chapters, they're important. Definitely, MCQs are not going to come in your exam. So when you ask me the examination paper, I've shown you earlier also mock test papers and your suggested answers for the examination papers. We generally get straight questions. Straightforward question means, like, for example, what is partnership deed? Give its content. Or we can get a descriptive case studies. Accordingly, we have to answer. Today, in today's lecture, we'll also be taking up a topic where there will be a detailed case study, and how to attempt the answer to that case study will also be taught to you. All right, Bharat, Sneha, Yashraj, Gopal, Manisha, Kushal, Ankita, Shriya, good afternoon, children. Aisha, Sood, Ankita, Rabish Chaudhary, good afternoon, children. So are you ready, all of you, for a small test? And I hope, I'm trusting my students, you will not cheat the answers from the study material. I can pick up any random question and I want all your eyes on the screen. You will see and you will quickly send me the answers so that I know how well you have revised the concept. So let us pick up question number 11 first of all. So you have to select the odd one out of the available options for the entitlement of partners in profit only. So read the question carefully. It says select the odd one. Which is the odd one when we call about partners in profits only? He's entitled to share the profits only. He's liable for the losses of the firm. He's not liable for the losses of the firm. He's liable to third parties for all the acts of the profits only. I'm trusting you and you're not going to cheat and you will answer. Gopal Mishra, you answered in a hurry and the answer is wrong. So read the question carefully and then only you have to answer. Good, Aryan, Ayasha, Gopal, Kushal, nice. Purva Joshi. Okay. So the correct answers, those who have given. So children, I hope you're reading the question very, very carefully. You have to select somebody. I've got all the options. Somebody has said, Shriya is saying B, Gopal is saying D, Abhishek is saying A, Mr. Madhu Gonda is saying A or C. Please choose, huh? You're asking me to choose. Pramod is saying B. So somebody is saying A, C, D, everything. So what do you think partners in profits only generally have to do? Let's apply our brains. See, children, MCQs are not coming in CA Foundation, but in CA Intern, CA Final also. You have huge MCQs. We'll be giving you detailed case studies and you'll have to analyze the situation and you have to choose the option. So the best way to attempt any MCQ, whenever you have such MCQs in front of you, the best way is think of the answer from your mind and then read the options. The biggest trouble is we just jump to read the options and we tend to confuse ourselves. If you'll always apply your mind, you first try to answer it, then see the options. Now let's apply our mind. So partners in profits only mein hoga kya? He is entitled to share the profits only. Yes, ma'am, this is what we understand. He is not liable for the losses. That is also correct. But I told you he will be liable to third parties for the acts of profits only. Ye bhi hota hai. So the odd one is he is liable for the losses of the firm. So the correct answer should be 11B, because this is the odd one option, something which is not applicable to partners in profits only. Now just imagine, instead of straight away asking you what is not applicable, I'm asking you choose one odd one out. So these are the kind of questions which can be framed in a way of a direct question also. मैं आपको check भी करा देती हूँ यहाँ पे. So the correct answer is 11th B. You want to do more such kind of twisted questions? Okay, let us pick up another question. Let us pick up question number 13. Now you'll not see the answers, okay? I'm trusting you. When partnership is entered into for a fixed term, is continued after the expiry of such term, it is treated to become a partnership for a fixed period, particular partnership, partnership at will, general partnership. Good afternoon, Ashutosh, Shamkar, Manisha, all of you. Yes, many of you are saying, ma'am, my answer was correct, mine was correct. So 11B was the correct answer, but I did not read the answers very nicely because I was so unhappy to see A, B, C, D, all the options floating. So now let me see who is the correct one. Pramod K, excellent. The first one to send the answer for 13, and it's a correct answer. Good. Ankur Verma, good afternoon. I'm waiting for the answers. Those who are taking time means you are applying your knowledge or you're trying to find the answers. Okay, Swati Giri, no, don't, it's okay. So Alfie Thangal, Ayushi, Omkar, Abhishek, Mahavir, correct. Darshan Mishra, I'm happy that you are honest, but the answer is not correct. And this is what the answer most of the students think, the A part, when they just read the question. So if you just read the question and immediately read the options, पहला नजर में हमारा यही आएगा, when partnership is for a fixed period, हाँ ये तो बहुत सिंपल है, partnership for a fixed period हो जाएगा. उसको ध्यान से पढ़ो. It is continued after the expiry of such term. Remember I told you, you and me, we entered into partnership for a fixed term for 5 years. 5 years have lapsed. We decided to continue after the expiry of such term. Now when I have decided to continue this partnership, I do not tell you for how long I'm continuing. So therefore, it will now become partnership at will. Excellent, those who have answered 13C, very good. That means you are actually applying knowledge and studying. All of you are correct. All right. So Kavya, we are still confused with general partnership and particular partnership. So Kavya, when we do the partnership for a fixed period is known as partnership for a fixed period. Particular partnership, he is defining the nature of business. So we are doing business. It's not for any particular business. We are doing a general partnership. You and me signed a contract and we have decided all the unlimited liabilities and we will do the complete business. That is a general partnership. But where we are just hiring ourselves, just coming into coordination for a particular purpose. So it's a short-term event, maybe, and the nature of business is not very vast. Then it is a particular business. But why we try to compare the general and particular partnership, I told you last time also, because now LLP has come up. So in LLP, you have limited liability, general partnership, you have unlimited liability. This is what you can remember. Akshay Kumar says this question is not given in a book because of new edition. So good, then you can apply the mind and you read the question on the screen and send me the answers. That's great. Yes, Saran Kumar, your answer is correct. Miss Krishna, it was correct. Sunil, all of you have sent the correct answers. So you want to do one more, then we can do one more. Let's do this one only. Mr. Samarth retires from partnership firm without giving a public notice, and his name continues to be used on the letterhead of the firm. Mr. Samrath is dash in case of repayment of loan to creditors. Is he liable as a partner? He is not liable as a partner. He is responsible. He is liable as a retiring partner. Whatever answer you're going to give me with reasons. Please give me with reasons. क्योंकि वो A, B, C, D तो आप देख भी लोगे थोड़ा सा. But I want reasons. Whatever answer you give me. 14th ka, whatever answer you're going to give it to me with reasons. Why you say A, why you say B, why you say C, why you say D. C and D are responsible, those who don't have book. Responsible, liable as a retiring partner. He's liable as a partner, he's not liable as a partner. What will be your correct answer? Okay, Rabish Chaudhary, yes, your answer is correct. Darshan Mishra, again, your answer is not correct. Mr. Darshan, you have joined the class today. You're not studying, bacha. I will tell you why your answer is incorrect. Don't worry. Mr. M. Gowda is only one who has given the reason as well. Good. Ritu Tiwari is also given the reason. Shriya is also given the reason. Bharat, Gopal, Pramod K, Aditi, Aisha. Mrs. Latha is correct. Oh, Mrs. Latha says yes because he is an active partner. No, the reason, you have to tell me the reason. Figure out what reason, why we are making him liable. I तो told you he has retired. Why are you using the word he's an active partner? He has retired. Then why do you think he's still liable? Excellent, Sarvesh. Subhasini R. Purva Joshi, Alfie Thangal, Tanmeed, Madhu Gonda, Abhishek, Krishna, Rabish, Mehek Roy, Omkar. Because the information is not available in the market. Okay, so we will use the terminology, Mr. Omkar, because he failed to give the public notice. That's why he is held liable. All right. So, और किसका गलत था? सर्वेश, अश्विनी, समीना, right? Simran, that is correct. Aisha, Wadikar, Kavya V, Latha, Aisha. There are two Aishas. Ayesha, Tasneem, your answer is also correct. Because he has not retired. He has retired, but he has not given the public notice. Bharat, Shriya, all of you are correct. Simran, Kavya, Ashwini, Sarvesh, all of you are correct, children. So good. That means you have revised your concept very nicely. The only reason that we have to see over here is he is liable as a partner. Why? Because he failed to give the public notice. Don't think that because he is a retiring partner, is an active partner. Now, why somebody was using the D option, one of only you have used. So what is the D option? You're saying he's liable as a retiring partner. So see, maybe you're using your brain that since he's a retiring partner, so he's liable. But here he is being held liable as a normal partner also. Because retirement, इसमें जो ये fourth वाला था ना, it was just to confuse you. D part 4, 5, 6 students more have given this option. D is not the correct option. A is the correct option. But in D, he's just trying to tend to confuse you that is it because you're retiring, that's why you're liable? No. You're liable because you've not given the public notice. People still think that your name is being continually used on the letter and people in the market think that you are still a partner in the firm. So had the question been that whether he is liable to dispose of his liabilities before the due date of retirement, then you would have said that yes, ma'am, any liabilities before the due date, he will be liable to repay in case of his leaving the firm. But here the question is specifically related to public notice. So the first 14th A will be the correct option. Now let us see the descriptive case studies also. This first one, I have another case study with you that we have to do. So it is a similar one. So we'll cover it from my presentation. So let's see the second one. Now, second one is very, very interesting. I'll give you 2 minutes. Just read the second question here on the screen. Yes, Mr. Omkar, option A was correct. Vaishnavi, Anushka, Aryan, Manisha, all of those who have sent the answers now, that's correct. So Miss Lucy, while drafting the partnership deed, taken care of few important points. What are these points? She wants to know the list of information which must be a part of partnership deed drafted by her, and also give the list of information to be included in partnership deed. Now, children, just imagine in the first question, there is a complete case study where he's talking you about the details have been given, facts of the case have been given. You have to analyze the situation and you have to answer. And if second question, 6 marks question come in your exam, don't you think it is a very straightforward question? Remember, I told you there is a small paragraph and many a times my student has left reading this paragraph only, although we have discussed it in the class also. ये पूरी कहानी पार्टनरशिप डीड की, जो कि हमें बहुत सिंपल लगता है कि इसमें तो क्या ही लर्न करने वाला है, इस क्वेश्चन के आंसर में आप पूरा का पूरा ये पैराग्राफ लिखोगे. Now, what happened many a times, children, is when we have not read this kind of information, it is very difficult to make up. You cannot make up stories in CA course, children. Remember this thing. आप बीकॉम में, बीबीए में, बीए के पेपर में कैसे स्टोरीज बनाते हो, आई हैव नथिंग टू डू विद दैट. बट इन सीए कोर्स, इन लॉ पेपर और इन एनी ऑफ द पेपर ऑफ सीए सिलेबस, यू कैन नॉट मेक अप स्टोरीज इन एग्जाम. यू हैव टू राइट अ वैलिड कंटेंट. You cannot say that okay, I've read partnership deed, my name of the partners and name of the firm is given. I'll just write this line only again and again. The name of the partners will be given. Okay, they have contributed capital. You have to write it nicely and you have to remember this information, child. लर्न करना बहुत जरूरी है. आप एक बारी रीड कर कर इसको गो थ्रू कर कर समझ लोगे तो आपको समझ आ जाएगा एंड यूल रिमेंबर इट. बट यू नीड द कंटेंट टू राइट इट. यू हैव टू मेमोराइज लॉ. It's all about a memory game. Keep repeating it, keep revising it, keep making notes. Don't break your link with the subject. Regularity has to be there. All right. So now this entire thing, if you write it nicely, smartly, in your own words. You ask me, ma'am, in your own words. In your own words is fine. आपने नहीं लिखना ये सारा तो आप simple लिख दो. Partnership is the result of an agreement. So whatever documentation is done in writing, defining the relationship of partners is known as partnership deed. You can write it in your own language, no problem. But the terminology should make sense what you're using. It should be signed on the Indian stamp paper. I told you last time also. Partnership has to be in writing. It should be stamped, registered under the Registration Act. So now registration is not compulsory, but as far as the partnership deed is concerned, the document should be made in writing. And these are the contents of the information which should be included in case of a partnership deed. देख लेते हैं आंसर में इन्होंने क्या दिया हुआ है. सेम एज इट इज आंसर आपका आ जाएगा. सो यहाँ पे अब कुछ केस स्टडी नहीं थी, यहाँ पे स्ट्रेट अवे क्वेश्चन था. So Miss Lucy, while drafting partnership deed, must take care that no particular formalities are required. First of all, there are no formalities. No registration is compulsory. You don't need that corporate thappa. You don't have to go to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs or filing the partnership. So no particular formalities are required because it is just simply an agreement. It may be in writing or we can also form it verbally. The document which contains the terms and conditions is known as partnership deed. It should be drafted with care and stamped. It comprises of immovable property, then it must be written and stamped and registered. So any immovable property which is also part of your partnership, that has to be stamped as per the Registration Act. Clearly जो उसने वहां पैराग्राफ में लिखा था उसने उसको 4 points में break कर दिया. List of information, this is the entire list of information. Please note, Miss Lucy may add or delete any provisions according to the needs of the partnership firm. अब इस लाइन का मीनिंग क्या है? ये उसने एडिशनल अपने एग्जामिनर ने अपना जो पेपर कंसर्न है, he has put up an additional line from his own concern. Why he is putting up this line? Because he remember that when Harleen ma'am was teaching us, she told us that partnership agreement can be amended as and when we like. So whatever things we want to add or whatever things we want to delete, say for example, if I have not made the provision of profit sharing ratio, then we know that we have to share it equally. There is no question about that. Let's assume I have not made any provisions for the interest on capital. Now I will not be giving any interest on capital. It is my choice. It is my partnership firm. I may decide to include something. I may decide not to include something. So these are the main content. उसने क्यों लिखा? क्योंकि उसने यहाँ क्वेश्चन में आपको दो चीजें पूछी है ना. उसने बोला list of the information which must be there, also the list of information to be included. So you can include whatever you want. This is the entire list of information which can be included in the partnership deed. Which list you want to include, that is completely up to your choice. He simply wrote a note and finished it off, that you may add or delete any provision according to the need of your firm. Understood, children? Have you understood how simple paper comes and the answers are well written and framed in your study material itself? We only have to do what is our job, that we have to revise and learn before going to the examination hall. So just never think that we'll just read law and go to the examination hall and sit over there and we'll attempt a paper. ऐसे नहीं हो सकता है. आपको सारा कुछ लर्न करके जाना पड़ेगा, पढ़कर जाना पड़ेगा, अच्छे से समझ के जाना पड़ेगा. And 3 times revision is must. अब वो 3 time revision होती कैसे? Thrice you should have gone through the syllabus. So 1, when we are doing it together. 2nd, when you'll revise after what we have done. And 3rd is your final revision before giving the exams. So 3 times if you have read the syllabus, that is absolutely fine for clearing CA Foundation. You are a very hardworking person. You get time to read it 4 times also before the exam. Great, do it. But then try to remember it. Okay, try to memorize it. Now, what topics we are going to cover today, as well as the Wednesday's lecture, we are going to finish the relationship of partners. So now we have understood how the partnership deed is formed. We know what are the type of partners. Somebody is sleeping, somebody is active. एक नॉमिनल पार्टनर का भी बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग MCQ है, वो आप पढ़ लेना उसमें चैप्टर 1 में, बिकॉज अदरवाइज इट विल टेक टू लॉन्ग. So mutual rights and duties हमारी क्या होती है? Today we will be understanding what are the rights and duties. So as the Constitution of India has given fundamental rights to all of us, right to speak, right to walk, right to talk, right to information. Similarly, Partnership Act, Indian Partnership Act 1992 has also given certain mutual rights and duties. What is the meaning of mutual? Mutual means we have agreed together among ourselves. So you also have certain rights in the firm. I also have certain rights, and also we have certain duties which we have to fulfill while working as a partner. What is the relationship of partner with the third parties? Who are the third parties? Quickly tell me. When we talk about partnership, many times we use this word third parties. Who are the third parties? Analysis, or we cannot. Mr. Akshay Kumar Bambania, I told you can write in your own language also, so it's okay. Okay, Rabish Chaudhary is asking MCQ 6. Please clear that one. Okay, you should have told me earlier now. We should have done it before completing it. Mr. Suchang, your answer was correct. Now you're telling me who is the third party? Yes, this paragraph of partnership deed is very important because it has come in the exam earlier also, Ritu Tiwari. Rabish Chaudhary is saying, please solve MCQ 6. We will do it right now, okay? Don't worry. So creditors, debtors, customers. So Rabish Chaudhary, abhi humne ye shuru kar diye. Let me just complete this, and when we go to the break, so just write during the break this message again, and when we start the lecture again, I'll take up your query of MCQ 6. Okay? So the person who has trust in our business, Mr. Ashwani is saying third party is the person who is trusting us. M. Gauda and Aryan, your answers are correct. Mahima is also correct, with whom we are transacting. Vadikar Sahib, Bhumika Chauhan, all of you are correct, children. They are the debtors, creditors, customers, the banks, the tax authorities. Very good, excellent. So all the parties with whom we are dealing and we are doing the business. So any person apart from the firm, you're saying, all right, that is also correct. Any person who's not a partner, Ms. Thomas says. So yes, not a partner, but somebody who is an outsider with whom we are transacting our business. So very validly mentioned, children, it can be our debtors, our creditors, the bank which is dealing with the firm, or the third parties, any other third parties, the taxation authorities, our clients, the customers, everybody is known as third parties. Now, relation of partner with third parties, this entire chapter revolve around how the partners are going to act between themselves. This is defined under here, rights and duties, and how they deal with their customers, their debtors, and all these outsider parties. This is defined under relationship of partners with third parties. Third is your implied authority of a partner. The express authority, we have understood it is expressed and written in the partnership deed. आप document बनाते हैं, लिखकर बता देते हैं कौन सा partner क्या करेगा. What is the meaning of implied? Remember that coffee example I always share with all of you, that you and me, we went to have a cup of coffee and we made the action by touching in the menu. We showed him that this is the coffee that we want. So instead of speaking by our conduct, it is implied that we have ordered a coffee and we are bound to make the payment for that. ऐसे ही होता है ना? So implied means by your conduct and behavior. So implied authority of a partner means something which is allowed for a partner to do. It is your authority. What is the meaning of mutual agency? Whatever you do the business, I will be liable. Whatever I will do, you will be liable. So it is an implied authority that whatever business all the other partners are doing, we are liable for that. So it is not something which has to be said. It is written in the Partnership Act and we all are following the implied authority. But there are certain restrictions, 7-8 restrictions that we will be covering today and understanding what are the restrictions imposed on the implied authority of partners. Restrictions means what are those 7 things which a partner is not authorized to do. So restrictions on implied authority means, yahin pe likh lo, restrictions on implied authority means the things which the partner is not allowed to do. All right, means without speaking or written, that is correct. Purva Joshi, that's nice. Okay. And the fourth, we will be dealing with the partners coming in and going out. So what do we call the partners who are coming in? Hurry up, answer. The partners who are joining in the firm are known as, what do you call that? You have been doing this in accounts. Mr. Tejas Patel, that was correct. Akshita, Tamanna, all of you were correct, children. Miss Punjabi Asif, I hope now you have understood the meaning of third person. So what your answer is, it's not very correct. Investment people, Mr. Kevin is saying, not really, but yes, with whom we are dealing and transacting the business. Okay, Krishna Tungala, admission is correct. Taran Kumar, incoming partner is correct. A new partner, Anushka says, all of you are correct, children. So, Vaishnavi Chaudhary, that's correct. So, whenever a partner is joining the firm, whosoever has sent the answer, it is known as admission of a partner. That is correct. And the partner who is going out is known as retirement of a partner. So in this chapter, we will be understanding how the partner is admitted in the firm, how the partner is retiring from the firm, how the partner is expelled from the firm. Very, very important topic. And उसके ऊपर भी case studies बहुत बारी आ चुकी हैं and आ सकते हैं questions. All right. So these are the topics that we are going to cover. Now let's start with the first topic, that is general duties of partners. So I was just telling you, children, as our constitution has given us certain rights, similarly, the partners and the Indian Partnership Act has given certain rights. But before using those rights, you must remember what are your duties. What are your duties as a student? Do you know what are your duties? To obey your parents, to respect your elders, to help your country to grow, and to work hard. That is also your duty. The duty which ma'am has given you, that you should revise your work regularly, keep preparing notes, and get good marks in the exams. Similarly, the partners also have some certain general duties. They have to follow these duties in between. Partners. So what are the similarly we have certain duties that we have to follow. The way we have to follow the duties as a student, whenever you join any partnership firm, you have certain duties to perform. So the first duty is to carry on the business of the firm in a just and faithful way, and to give true accounts and complete information. What is the meaning of giving true accounts and complete information? Means we should not be hiding anything that we are doing in a business. We have to be just and faithful. Ka meaning likh lena. We all have to be honest when we are into partnership with another person. So can you say that I am into partnership with a person, but I'm always taking the profits home, or I'm not sharing the information with my another partner, that what kind of business I'm doing, what is my knowledge? I'm not sharing my knowledge, or I'm hiding the information. How can you hide the information? You met a client, you got the business, and you did not tell your partners. That is not done. You're doing the business together. Then if you're doing such kind of things, you should better become a sole proprietor and you run your own business, if you can't be honest to another partner. So law says general duties means that you have to be just and faithful. You have to give the true account, pictures of the true accounts. Whatever profits you have earned, whatever revenue has come to the firm, it should reflect the true profit and loss account. To indemnify the firm for any loss caused by him. How do you think a partner can cause a loss to the firm? You're saying we will be sharing the losses, that is fine. But what is the meaning of indemnify? To indemnify means to compensate. To indemnify means to compensate the firm. Now, what is the meaning of compensating the firm? Where do you think there is a need to compensate the firm? Do you think I have to pay something to the firm? Yes, if firm suffers any loss because of my action. So caused by him during the conduct of firm's business means मेरी वजह से अगर कोई भी गलती होती है तो मुझे firm को compensate करना पड़ेगा. Say, for example, there were three partners, A, B, C, and a table, the furniture that if they were using was by mistake broken by Mr. A. Now you have caused the damage to the firm's property. You should pay for that. Or there was another business transaction that was to be done by Mr. A. So it was written in the partnership agreement. The authority which was given, the authority means the power. Mr. A was given the power to do the purchases for the firm's business only for rupees 10,000. So there was certain purchase that they had to make, and there was an agreement, and there was a partnership deed to the effect of that Mr. A cannot spend more than 10,000 whenever we go and meet our dealer, Mr. Z. But Mr. A was a friend of Mr. Z, and he thought that let's give him also some business, and he made the purchases for 15,000 rupees. Now, do you think he is not being just and faithful? He's acting out of the purview of your partnership. He has made an agreement. There was written in the partnership deed that Mr. A cannot make the purchases beyond 10,000. And now if he has done this dealing on his own, he's breaking the rule which is written in the partnership deed, and he made the purchases 15,000 rupees. Children, do you think the firm has suffered the loss? If yes, then what is the amount of loss that the firm has suffered? Answer me. What will be the amount of loss that Mr. A need to compensate the firm because of his actions? All right. What are these? Yes, Kushal Jain, please send your answers. What will be the amount of loss? Okay, any fraud? Yes, Mr. Gopal Mishra, you cannot do any fraud. It should be free from bias, Ankit. That's correct. Via any arguments we can, with the clients, we can create. Yes, Kevin, that is also correct. So 5,000 rupees is the very simple answer. Excessive amount over 10,000. Very good, Aditi. So 5,000 will be the loss, and A will be held liable to pay the firm for that loss. Now, when you were told that you cannot do the transaction beyond 10,000, you out of your own will, just to give business to Mr. Z, the outsider with whom we are dealing, just because he's your friend, you have made the firm suffer a loss. So now the firm will not suffer a loss. It is your duty to compensate the firm. You have to pay back 5,000 rupees to the firm, bear that loss from your own pocket. To contribute to the losses of the firm in equal proportion. अब इसका मतलब क्या है? The way we share the profits of the firm, we are also equally liable to pay for the losses of the firm. So you should be ready to pay the losses. It should not be that you're only eating the profits. If you are eating the profits, the losses also have to be shared in the equal proportion. Not to assign his own share to some other party. So he thought, I'm 50% partner in a partnership firm, and I thought that I'll transfer it to my sister, and then now my sister will become 50% partner in the firm. Can this happen? Indian Partnership Act says no. You cannot assign your share to some other party. You are not allowed to transfer your share. A sub-partnership is something different. Assignment of shares is different. So here, you simply remember that you cannot assign your share of partnership to another party. What is the meaning of attending your duties diligently? So the meaning of the word diligently means very carefully. So you should be very careful when you are in partnership with someone. Children, just remember that when you're a sole proprietor, तो आप घर के खुद के business के मतलब वो owner हो. So you are the whole sole owner of your property, and whatever the way you want to sit, whichever way you want to deal with the property of the business, whatever you want to do, you can do it because it is your own sweet will and you are the only owner. But when we enter into partnership, what did I tell you? That we form relationship with other people. So now I am dealing with so many partners. We are together doing the business. So ye word jo together hai na, that is very, very important to understand and remember. So when we are together, we have to be very careful in using the property of the firm, in meeting with the clients of the firm, how we are doing the business, how everyone is behaving, how the papers are organized. So if I'm a sole proprietor, I always try to keep my book and tables very clean. I keep my files nicely documented. Everything is kept. But as a partner, don't you think as a partner also it's your duty? क्या आप ये बोलोगे कि मिस्टर ए की ड्यूटी है वही सारा काम करे, मैं क्यों अपना फाइल्स का क्लीन करूं या फिर कोई और काम करूं? ऐसा तो नहीं है ना. सो ऑल द पार्टनर्स शुड diligently means carefully. You should not be losing any important documentation. You should not be losing any agreements. You have to be very, very careful while performing the partnership duties. All right. Now, Acha, this we'll come little later on this, how to attempt the descriptive case study. Rights of the partners. So, हमने duties समझ ली. Now we'll come to the rights of the partners, and after that, I will take you to the descriptive question. So, what are the rights? It says the law says general rights and responsibilities are also given to the partners in a partnership firm. So, can you see how they are holding these individual things, and they are just being together because they have understood that there are 5 duties which they have to do nicely and perform it by informing each and every one. And what are the rights available to the partners? So, there are certain kind of rights and responsibilities also that go well with the partners. Let us understand one by one all these rights from the study material. So there are various rights which has been given to the partners' children. So all this section 9, section 10 clearly talks about the duties. Let us see the example of a duty in a transaction between the partners for sale and purchase of share in a business. If one of them is better acquainted with the accounts, then it is his duty to tell all the material facts. So if I am your partner and I'm doing sale and purchases of shares and I have good knowledge about it, it is my duty to tell the other partners about the same information. We should not be hiding information. We should not be concealing. We should not be doing any fraud with another partner. Okay. Examples are very, very important. Many a time you ask me, ma'am, do we have to read all the examples given in the study material? Hanji, you have to read all the examples given in the study material. Let us see the first example. Analysis of section 12 का मतलब है कि आप ये section 12 इसको छोड़ दोगे आप और सीधा आप analysis of section 12 पे आ जाओगे. So the first right is right to take part in the conduct of the business. Now, before we do that, let me just ask you a question. There are 3 partners in my firm, Shruti, Pathak, Abhishek and Ankit. So Ankit, Abhishek and Shruti are 3 partners. And every time Ankit and Abhishek go for client meeting, they never call Shruti and they don't even allow Shruti Pathak to participate in the business. So although there are 3 partners, but they had a profit of 9,000, they divided it equally. 3,000 Ankit got, 3,000 Abhishek got, 3,000 Shruti got. But Shruti is not allowed to take part in the business. Abhishek and Ankit thought that let the males handle everything. You are a female partner. We will not allow you to participate in the business. And whenever they go, they take their own decisions and they have deprived her the right of participation. They're not allowing her. They're not allowing her to participate in the decision making. So what do you think? Is it a right thing? Can Abhishek and Ankit do so? So is Shruti is not given the right to participate. Is it good or not? Thank you, Miss Manisha. I'm glad you're enjoying and you like this way of teaching. Thank you so much. So now tell me, can they do so? Is it possible? Can we do that? Swati Giri says, no, not at all. Shruti should also be given Shruti should also be given the right to take part in the conduct of business. That is legally not correct. Section 12, subsection A says every partner has the right to do the business. Then Shruti will simply say bye and retire from the firm. She will say, I will not do business with you because you're not allowing. Ritu Tiwari says, no, ma'am, it's not good. This cannot be done. Mahima, Vadikar, Kushal, Rabish. Alfie Uncle says, no, ma'am, this is really bad. Zamina, answer is no, Kushal Jain. Bhumika Johan, all of you are correct, children. Why? Because every partner has been given the right under section 12, section A. ये पर्सनल फीमेल्स वाला विमेन एम्पावरमेंट की बात नहीं हो रही है यहाँ पे तो पार्टनर्स की बात हो रही है कि पार्टनर्स में मेल डोमिनेशन इज नॉट करेक्ट. ओके, अभिषेक सेज. Ashwani Prakash is very interesting. She says no, but they can't unless Shruti wants so. So Shruti ne keh diya ki I'm not interested in participating in the conduct of business, then it is a different story. Here we are talking, can you ask any partner not to interfere and we will only do the business? Section 12, section A says not at all. Every partner has the right to take part in the conduct of the business because partnership business is a business of partners. हमारा ही तो business है. सोल प्रोप्राइटर थोड़ी ना हो आप. अभिषेक एंड अंकित जैसे आप बोल रहे हो कि आपने बिजनेस करना है, आप श्रुति को नहीं बुलाओगे, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है. It is the joint business of all the partners together. I could not do a business alone. That's why I've entered into partnership with you. Had I been interested in doing, I would have opened up my sole proprietor only. But मुझे नहीं आता है, मेरे से नहीं हो रहा है अकेले business. That's why I've joined hands with other person to become a partner. So now you have to remember that partnership business is the business of all the partners. It is not just for the one of the partners. So let us read example number 2. Suppose the management of the particular partner is inferred and he has been wrongfully precluded from participating with. सो सपोज दिस मैनेजमेंट पावर, अगर हमने किसी पार्टनर को बोल दिया, जैसे अभी हमने श्रुति को बोला, रॉन्गफुली हमने उसको प्रेक्लूड कर दिया, मींस अवॉइड करा, पार्टिसिपेट करने से मना कर दिया. कैन द कोर्ट इंटरफेयर? यस, द आंसर इज अफर्मेटिव, मींस द आंसर इज यस. अफर्मेटिव के इंग्लिश का मतलब होता है यस. Court can by injunction restrain the other partners from doing so. Now what will court do? Court will pass an order of injunction. He will send a notice to all the other partners and they are stopped from doing such kind of actions. A partner who has been wrongfully described of the right also suffered the remedies like a suit for dissolution, a suit for accounts without seeking dissolution. तो ये पार्टनर जिसके साथ गलत होता है, what this partner can do? So in our case, Shruti was not given the right, so Shruti can also go for the dissolution of the firm. She can even apply for the dissolution and she can ask that give me the true accounts. I want to see the correct picture of accounts. And since you do not allow me to participate in the business of the firm, I will not continue as a partner. All right. So the first right to participate is very, very important. You always have to remember that all the partners should be given equal respect in the firm. All the partners should be allowed to participate in the conduct of the business. All right. So just read this right and we'll just take a small break here and then we'll continue after the break. Okay. All right, students, welcome back. So as promised, let's take Mr. Rabish Chaudhry's query first. He was asking about the 6th MCQ. It is very simple one. I don't know why you did not understand, but let's discuss it in the class. In the absence of the agreement to the contrary, all the partners are not entitled to share the profits. They will share the profits in the capital ratio. They will share the profits in proportion to their ages. Oh my God. Entitled to share the profits equally. So I think what bothered you is in the absence of the agreement to the contrary. So instead of giving me the answer for the 6th A, B, C or D, you all students have to tell me what is the meaning of this line in the absence of agreement to the contrary. You have to tell me what do you mean by when you say in the absence of the contrary. Ankur Verma, your answers are coming and your answer was absolutely correct. Don't worry. Yes, Bhumika, the same goes for you. It was correct. So you have to tell me. Akshay is asking, can we write section 12 instead of 12A? Yes, you can do that. Vaishnavi says, if it is mentioned in the agreement that only one partner can make the agreement, if you have agreed, remember Miss Lucy can add and delete whatever they want to agree. So if you have made an agreement, one of the partners is responsible, then Vaishnavi, you can do it in that way as well. Court can order the dissolution. Yes, Ashwani, court can also order the dissolution. Mr. Ankit Jha, your answer is also correct. Where you're asking a suit can be filed, just not for the accounts. You can also ask for the dissolution of firm. Okay, so 6D is the correct answer. I know you, all of you know this and it's given in the study material also. But I am asking you, what is the meaning of in the absence of agreement to the contrary? किसी ने इसका आंसर भेजा मुझे? Bharat Chaudhary, very good. He says it means absence of partnership deed and partners are required to share the profits. So that means, Miss Thomas, beautiful. That means there isn't a provision that states otherwise in the agreement. Very good. In the absence of agreement, Mr. Gopal Mishra, correct. Mr. Darshan Mishra, your answer is correct. Good. Nikita, everyone is correct. If nothing is mentioned, Samina is saying. When it is not mentioned, Miss Akshita, good. Absence of agreement. So simple. It means absence of agreement to the contrary. This is the word which bothers you. I know that. Absence of agreement तो हमें समझ आ गया कि हमने इसके ऊपर decide नहीं करा. If we have been silent, we have not decided how the sharing of profits will happen, then my dear students, please, this is just an irrelevant point that they have given according to ages just to confuse you. ऐसा कभी नहीं होता है. Sharing in capital ratio does happen, but only if it is agreed. And you will not share the profits. ऐसा तो कभी होगा ही नहीं. तो 50-50 अगर आपने करना है तो B and D में से choice ले सकते हो. D is the correct answer because you always share the profits equally. Capital ratio में you share the profits only when you have decided in the agreement that yes, we are going to share the profits in the capital ratio. Clear ho gaya 6 points. So basically this was the thing, I think, Ravish, that you were asking. In the absence of agreement, that means if you have not made an agreement to the contrary means to this respect regarding the sharing of profits. If you have not made any agreement, then your profit sharing should always be done equally. All right, so let us go back to the study material. We were doing rights of the partner and all of you have correctly understood that if any of the partner is deprived of this right, if he is not allowed to participate in the conduct of business, then he can even ask for the accounts as well as he can even ask for the dissolution of the firm. Court can also interfere. Court will pass an injunction order. Yes, I was telling you what is the meaning of injunction. Injunction means that court ek aapko notice pass kar dega that no, you cannot do so. Restraining other partners means he will put restriction on the other partners that you cannot exclude Shruti from participation. You have to give her the power because any kind of right of participation is given to each and every partner who is a partner in the firm. So the remedies are sued for accounts means you're simply asking for the accounts without going for dissolution. You may file a case for, I want to see all the accounts of the books of accounts, or you can even file for the dissolution of the firm. Both the things are given the remedies as a solution. It is common that it gives only limited power of the management. Management will remain one or more partners to the exclusion of others. तो वो कहते हैं अभी मैंने आपको बताया कि अगर आपने एग्री करा है कि एक दो पार्टनर्स के पास ही मैनेजमेंट रहने वाली है, then it's fine. But provided we have agreed that So A, B, C are three partners and they have made an agreement, and Mr. A is very intelligent. He's very good at handling things. He's very good in organizing and managing the events. Let us give the management in his hand. Then you should not poke your nose again and again, doubting that Mr. A is doing correctly or not. Then you should trust the partners. The trust and faith and confidence in partnership is very, very important, children. आप लोग फ्रेंड्स बनाते हो, सीए में भी दोस्ती करते हो, तो क्या होता है, ऐसे करते हो कि मैं अपने नोट्स तेरे से शेयर नहीं करूंगा या फिर तुझे नहीं दिखाऊंगी, थोड़ा कंपटीशन स्पिरिट होती है ना, यू ट्राई टू हाइड दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. आई नो यू डू दैट. फ्रेंड ने कॉल करा तो उन्हें पढ़ लिया, नहीं नहीं मैंने तो पढ़ाई शुरू भी नहीं करी है, बट हम पढ़ लेते हैं, ज्यादा लीक आउट नहीं करते हैं, इन्फॉर्मेशन करते हैं ना. बट क्या फ्रेंड्स में आप एक दूसरे के ऊपर ट्रस्ट करते हैं, लाइकिंग होती है, फेथ होता है, कॉन्फिडेंस होता है, तभी आपकी फ्रेंडशिप परस्यू करती है. दैट्स व्हाई यू कॉल्ड फ्रेंड्स, दैट्स व्हाई यू हैव दैट बॉन्डिंग, दैट्स व्हाई यू हैव अ रिलेशनशिप. So even if you try to just hide your studies, but you're always there to help your friends. Okay, fine, I will give you the notes, I will share the things with you so that the other person can also succeed. I think I have taken a wrong example of CA because you always want that I should succeed, not the other one. I should get good marks. Then only I'll clear a CA exam first before then he or she clears it. But generally, if we talk in general sense, we generally try to help our friends also. That is what friendship is called, right? फ्रेंड इन नीड इज अ फ्रेंड इन डीड, है ना, ऐसा ही होता है. सो जिस तरह आप अपनी फ्रेंडशिप में एक बॉन्ड क्रिएट करते हो, एक फेथ क्रिएट करते हो, एक ट्रस्ट क्रिएट करते हो, फ्रेंड कैन ऑलवेज बी डिपेंडेंट ऑन यू. सिमिलरली इन पार्टनरशिप यू हैव टू क्रिएट दैट बॉन्ड. That faith has to come within, then only it can see you can survive as a partnership firm. If partners are only quarreling among each other, they're not liking each other, they're stopping another person, they are interfering in the rights to take part, then it cannot work properly. Unless and until you're doing something illegal. अब इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि मैंने आपको पावर दी, आपने ड्रग्स का बिजनेस ही शुरू कर दिया, then it is not allowed. So any kind of breach of the trust which the partners are put on you, that cannot be done. Court will immediately put a stop on this kind of firm. Dissolution means to put an end to the firm. Right to be consulted. Section 12, you can write this analysis of Section 12 means all the rights have been given under Section 12. No need to remember subsections as far as your CA foundation is concerned. Where there is any difference arise, right to be consulted का मतलब क्या है? यहाँ पर तो आप अलाउ ही नहीं करा, आप मीटिंग्स पे नहीं लेकर गए, बिजनेस में पार्टिसिपेट नहीं करने दिए. Right to be consulted means let's sit together, let's have a cup of coffee together and decide what business are we going to do together. ये थोड़ी ना कि थ्री पार्टनर्स है एबीसी, ए एंड बी आर ऑलवेज डिस्कसिंग एंड सी को निग्लेक्ट ही कर दिया, पूछा ही नहीं उससे, कंसल्ट ही नहीं करा. एक बहुत बड़ी डील आने वाली थी, मिस्टर डी वाज अ क्लाइंट, वी वांट टू फिक्स अ डील विद हिम, देयर वाज 10 crores डील, ए एंड बी वेंट एंड दे डिड द मीटिंग एंड दे डिड नॉट इवन आस्क मिस्टर ए एंड बी एंड सी फाइनलाइज्ड द डील. इज इट ओके टू डू दैट? It's not at all okay to do that. His right to be consulted has been intervened. He has not been consulted. He has not been asked. He might not be of the view that we should do with dealing with Mr. D. So all the partners, at least majority of them, should be consulted in taking a decision. Now the problem occurs is it is very difficult to call up each and every partner every time and to ask. So for the routine matters का मतलब क्या होता है? Day to day dealing. अब मेरे already clients है Mr. D, E and F. So I am dealing with them and I am one of the partners. So I know how to handle the things with them. I will not call A and B every time. हाँ जी क्या करना है, वो आ गए, चाय पिलानी है, कॉफी पिलानी है, कहीं लेकर जाना है, डिनर तो नहीं कराना. अब छोटी छोटी बातें रूटीन की है ना, आप देख लो, आपको लग रहा है क्लाइंटेज के साथ आपने कैसे फिक्स करनी है डील, आपको लग रहा है डिनर पे ले जाना, डिनर पे ले जाओ. बिजनेस में वो डाल देना, प्रोविजन फॉर डिनर में एंट्री डाल देना अपने अकाउंट्स में, दैट द पार्टनर took the client out for dinner. So such kind of routine matters, it's okay. But it doesn't mean that you're going for a party with your friends and you're booking an entry in your books of accounts. That cannot be done. As far as your business is concerned, your partners are trusting you, you're doing it for the sake of business, you can do it without consulting others also. So generally you have to see two things in case of right to be consulted. If it is a routine nature of business, feel free to do it without even calling other partners. If it is a very major kind of thing, you have to take a call for business decision. Like we just took a call, B and C went for 10 crores dealing, fixing of the clientage. Then you must call other partners also. You cannot just leave them without taking their opinion. Every partner has the right to put on their opinion before the matter is decided. So every partner should be given equal opportunity to participate in the business and also to consult with them. ठीक है, अब ये right to be consulted के साथ dinner वाला example याद रख लेना, आपको भूलेगा नहीं फिर. All right. Okay, right to access the books of accounts. ये भी बहुत interesting है. Section 12 subsection D. And now there are 3 partners. 4 कर देते हैं इस पर. A, B, C, D, 4 partners. And they read, they are chartered accountants, all of them. They have studied CA foundation very nicely and they were my law students. And they remember section 12 subsection D says right to access the books of accounts. And Mr. D remembered this line very nicely. Every time he goes to the firm, he starts checking the books of account. Every time A and B has made the entry of revenue, Mr. D cross-check it with the revenue receipts also. Every time they have made the payment entries or any again dinner booking has been done with the client, he again check the bills, cross-verifies everything. Do you think Mr. D is doing a correct thing? I told him that you have access to the books of accounts, but he is poking out his nose each and every time. He's creating a suspicion in the mind. He's doubting other partners. Is it valid? Is the action that is being taken by Mr. D is valid or not? You tell me. I told him that you can access the books of accounts. He was my great student. He remembered that Harleen ma'am has taught us that I have access to the books of accounts. Now he's auditing and inspecting each and everything over there. Is he correct in doing that? All those who have sent the answer for the previous one, that was correct. Mahima Jain is asking, if there is no agreement, what will the partners do? So whatever they have decided, whether verbally and orally, they will go by their terms and conditions itself. Okay, Mr. Raman. I hope Miss Kavya, contrary meaning is now clear. You're still landing over there. All right. Thank you, Rabish. Yes, Ashwini, partnership works on faith. I have not got the answer yet for this one. Is Mr. D correct, children? Are you able to hear me? Allowed for all the partners. Majority means, Ashwini, majority means if there are 5 partners and 3 of them have agreed, then 2 partners, then 3 of them can still take a call if 2 partners are absent. Majority means kitne zyada. No, ma'am, he didn't have full faith. Yes, Pramod K, excellent. Ankur Verma, if only one partner is an active partner, I'll just come back to this thing. But first tell me, is D doing correct thing or not? All of you say, no, ma'am, this is not good. Why, children? Because यहाँ पे आप एक point लिख लोगे, right to access the books of accounts में, that you are only allowed to access the books of accounts and not to audit them. You will not inspect every time, every partner, whether active or sleeping. Both the partners have the right. So you were asking Ankur Verma, what about the active partner? It's not that just active partner will take the access the books of accounts, even a sleeping partner. Why would sleeping partner be interested in checking the books of accounts? Because, ma'am, we are giving him share of profits also, and he's entitled to hold liable for the third parties also. It was only thing that he was not participating in the conduct of business. So if A is an active partner, then also B and C can do so. So if one of the partner is an active partner and B and C are sleeping partner, Ankur Verma, then it's okay, because then they are not given the right to participate in the conduct of business. They do not participate. Now, that is what is the definition of sleeping partner. But in all the examples that I am sharing with you, I'm giving to you, I'm assuming that all the partners are the active partners. And this is what you have to assume when the examiner also asks you the same questions. Okay, clear ho gaya? Now, yes, so access the books of accounts and not to audit them means that you will not inspect the books of accounts. So यहाँ पे A, B, C, D वाला example you will remember. If D is poking his nose and doubting and suspicion every time Mr. Other partners, then this cannot be done. Accessing the books of accounts का मतलब होता है check करना books of accounts भी ठीक entries हुई हैं या नहीं, वो सारे partners के पास right है. Okay, right of legal heirs. अच्छा, Akshita also has sent a query. Miss Akshita Kanitkar. If A is a sole proprietor and B joins him and becomes partner, and if B leaves, A again becomes a sole proprietor. Wow, interesting. So I'm a sole proprietor. I joined a partnership firm. A and B are now into partnership firm. So if B retires, the firm will get dissolved. Only one partner is a no condition for having a partnership. Yes, A still thinks to continue a business. Please feel free to do it as a sole proprietor, or even you can open up a company. Now we have OPC concept also, that is one-person company. You can do whatever you want, but definitely one person will not be having any kind of partnership. So you have to dissolve that partnership, and then Mr. Ray can do whatever business he wants. Okay. All right, good. So no more doubts, and all of you have sent the beautiful answers, ma'am. He's doubting, he's cross-checking. Yes, Siddhartha Kumar, if there is a big transaction, he can do a cross-check. But my question in that particular one was, Mr. D is always doubting Mr. ABC. That cannot be done because he was losing faith. Abhishek, Ashwani, Ankur, very good children. All of you have given the correct answers, and I hope and I wish you write such kind of beautiful answers in your final exams also. What is bona fide? Bona fide means that you have to see it should be the benefit. So only the right can be exercised. Bona fide means it is should be only for the benefit of the firm, not just the example that we have done. You should not be doubting the other partners of the firm. You should be doing it for the benefit of the firm. Clear hai, Mahima Jain? Okay, Nikita says crystal clear. Wonderful. Yes, Vaishnavi Chaudhary, whenever you have oral agreements, that's why when we read about partnership deed, it was clearly written in order to avoid any disputes. तो अगर oral होगा तो disputes तो रहेंगे, resolve करना भी मुश्किल है, so it is valid and agreeable to have a written agreement. Point number 412E, right of legal heirs or representatives. In case of a death of a partner, his heirs, or what is the meaning of heirs? Means his ancestors. Like if A has died, then his son or his legal representative, maybe a nominee, maybe his wife, or other agents have the right to access the books of accounts and inspect the books of accounts. अब ये किसकी बात कर रहा है? ये कह रहा है लीगल हेयर्स को भी, रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स को भी राइट दे रहा है कि what rights are available to him. Now you have to tell me, children, why the legal heirs would like to inspect the books of accounts. So there were three partners, A, B, C. Mr. A died, and now Mrs. A, the legal heir, means the person who is getting all the property of Mr. A. He wants to inspect the books of accounts, and B and C said, no, we will not allow you. So she said, it's written under section 12, subsection E. I have full right to access and inspect the books of accounts and copies of any books of the firm. So why do you think that she would like to check the books of accounts? No, Ashwani Prakash, the answer to your question is not. It cannot be done. Sleeping partner will not interfere with the participation of the other partners. Okay, so tell me. Mr. Ankur Verma, transfer and sharing of partnership and creating a sub-partnership. We will be taking ahead in the chapter further. You will understand it there. Ritu Tiwari says because it is bona fide. So obviously it is for the benefit, but why? Why you are trying to interfere and inspect the books of accounts? क्या मतलब होगा? क्यों चाहते हो आप books of accounts check करना? For profits, okay, Gopal Mishra. She wants to know about the agreement and partnership. She wants to know the profits, wants to know about the actual share. Yes, Mr. Yash Chanda. Absolutely correct. Just to find out the actual share and profit of the deceased partner. Wonderful. That means you have revised in class 12 properly the death of a partner. Even in accounts, you have studied about this. So when you study about death of a partner, it is clearly written that the legal heirs have the right to inspect the books of account to calculate the share of the deceased partner. They want to know now how much share and profits and how much refundment of entitlement of capital is due to us. So what we are going to get, that partner has died. So now law has given the right to the legal representatives, whosoever is the representative on his behalf. Legal का मतलब होता है जिसको legally right है. तो वाइफ को लीगली राइट है, ये नहीं कि मिस्टर ए की गर्लफ्रेंड अगर देख रही है आपके बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स बिकॉज 12 ई में लिखा है. सो लीगल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव मींस द पर्सन हु हैज लीगली बीन गिवन द राइट, हु कैन बी हिज नॉमिनी और अ रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, और मे बी लीगल हियर्स द चिल्ड्रन ऑफ द deceased partner can come and check the books of accounts just to find out what is the share of their deceased partner. Okay, good. Mr. Ankit Jha, I told you earlier also that if a partner is filing a suit for account, should be concurrent with the suit for dissolution. It means that either you can ask for the accounts, books of accounts. You were not given the right to participate. So now you want to seek a permission from the court that I want to share the accounts, or you can ask with the dissolution of the firm. Both the things should be concurrent, means they should be related. Either you are asking for the accounts of the firm, you're filing a case, filing a suit means filing a case, or you can ask for the dissolution of the firm. All right, Ashwini, Krishna, Aditi, Vaishnavi, Aryan, Bharat, Purva, all of you are correct, children, because after a day there can be chance of fraud. Yes, Mr. Pramod K, there can be chances of fraud. The other partners might be concealing the profits. They might not be telling the true picture. They might eat up the profits of the deceased partner only. So it's good. Okay, Tejas, Mahima, right. All of your answers are correct. Clear ho gaya, rights of partners are now done. Mutual rights and liabilities, section 13, very, very simple. Let's have a quick reading. Section 13 talks about the mutual rights and liabilities. Section 12 mein humne 4 rights पढ़ लिए, important rights. Section 13 is typically your rights which are you have studied under accounts also. Profit and loss account में जो आप लिखते हो ना, to sharing of profits, to interest on capital, interest or advances. It is talking about all those rights. So right to remuneration, all of you have to tell me, does the partners get remuneration? Yes or no? No, ma'am, partners don't get any remuneration. Why? Because they're not the employees, so they will not receive any remuneration. They only get the share of profits. But again by an express agreement. मेरी मर्जी है, पार्टनरशिप तो मैंने एग्रीमेंट से बनाई है. मैंने डिसाइड करा मिस्टर ए को मैंने मैनेजर बनाना है. He is doing all the dealings in behalf of the business, so we are going to pay him certain remuneration. So if by an agreement we have decided, express agreement, bold kar by words spoken or written, we have decided that we have to give the remuneration to the partner. He can claim a remuneration even in the absence of a contract where it is paid under the continued usage of the firm. So if a firm has been such that we have been conducting business, it is customary. We have been following it as a trade and custom of a business that we pay remuneration generally to the person who is conducting the business, then we will follow this tradition. So in 2 cases, you can pay the remuneration. Either there will be an express agreement or it is the continued custom of the firm that have been doing this earlier also. Means where it is customary to pay remuneration for conducting the business, he can claim it even if it is in the absence of contract. So it is a business that whenever you do such kind of business, we generally pay remuneration to the partner for managing the firm. Now we are going to pay you as well. All right, right to share the profits हमने बहुत बारी कर लिया, आप सबको पता है. You have to share the profits in the profit sharing ratio agreed. If it is not agreed, then you have to share it equally. Interest on capital. So what is the meaning of capital? Capital is the amount which has been brought in by the partners as an investment. So whatever amount you have invested in the business is known as capital. And what do you get on your investment? You always get interest on your capital. So interest has to be paid, number 1, only if there has been express agreement or there has been trade custom to that effect. So we have been following, we have partners from last 5 years. Now 2 more partners have joined. We are 7 partners. We have always been paying interest on capital. Now we pay interest on capital to 7 partners. Or there is a statutory provision which entitles him to such interest. There is a provision which is written in the act which tells him that you are entitled to receive the interest. In such cases, whatever money you have bought in the partnership business, you will get certain kind of interest. And what interest is paid on the capital? As per the partnership deed. So whatever interest amount you have decided, that will be paid to you. What is the meaning of advances? It is a kind of loan which is given by a partner to the firm. Likh lo iska. It is a kind of loan. Advances is a kind of loan which is given by a partner to the firm. Yes, Mr. Raman Purohit, a decision related to admission of partner, other partners must be consulted. Yes, Ashwini, it means salary only. Ankur Verma, that is again decided legally. That means by court, who will be entitled as a legal heir to interfere with the books of accounts. But simply we have to remember that any of their son or wife or spouse can go and check the books of accounts. Okay, so loan means, advance means the loan given by a partner to the firm. So sometimes in addition to the capital, so there were 3 partners, A, B and C, and they have contributed 5,000, 5,000 and 5,000 in the business. So they have total capital of 15,000. Now, Mr. A is a very rich man and the business was in need of money and he lent a loan of 10,000 to the firm. So interest on capital to इनको मिल ही रहा था, and in addition to this, Mr. A will also get the interest on advances. This has to be given at the rate of 6% per annum. This is to be decided by an express agreement. Interest on capital का कोई percentage law में नहीं लिखा हुआ, वो आपके agreement के ऊपर decide होता है. But interest on advances law section 13 subsection D says 6% per annum पे आप partner को interest दोगे. While interest on capital ceases. Number one point you have to remember over here is that advance is a loan which is given by a partner to the firm. In addition to interest on capital, interest at the rate of 6% per annum is given on interest on advances. 2 point clear ho gaye. Third point says interest on capital will be given only till the date of dissolution. Now the firm ends on 10th of March 2022. The firm was dissolved and the loan which was taken by Mr. A, that is 10,000, was repaid on 5th May 2022. So on 10th March, the firm got dissolved, and the loan repayment of 10,000, the advance which was given by A to the firm, was repaid on 5th May 2022. In this case, interest on capital will be given to the partners only till 10th of March because firm dissolved होगी उसके बाद तो फिर क्या interest on capital देना. But interest on advances will keep running, means interest on advances will be paid to Mr. A till 5th May 2022, till the date his loan has not been repaid. So even if the firm gets dissolved, examiner can ask you such questions in descriptive case study. That even if the firm got dissolved and this Mr. A has lent money to the firm, will you pay him the interest on advances? You will say, yes, section 13 says interest on advances is to be given. It is a kind of loan which is given by a partner to the firm. At what rate? At 6% per annum rate, the interest on advances has to be given. But now examiner is asking the firm is dissolved. No worries, even if the firm has been dissolved, it is written in the provisions of rights of the partners that interest on advances continues even after the dissolution till the date of payment. Therefore, till 5th May, when the payment is not made, till that date, interest on advances will be paid to Mr. A. Samajh aa gaya? I know I'm moving a little fast because it's very, very simple and we have to complete partnership property also today. Right to be indemnified. What is the meaning of right to be indemnified? I told you right to indemnify means right to compensate. So right to be indemnified means right to be compensated. So earlier we were indemnifying the firm. Right to indemnify the firm means where the Mr. Ray in the morning when we discussed, he has made the purchases for 15,000. He was only allowed for 10,000. You all told me, ma'am, he should pay the firm the loss for rupees 5,000. तो ये वो वाला पॉइंट है. राइट टू इंडेमनिफाई द फर्म मींस इफ एनी विलफुल निग्लेक्ट का मतलब होता है विलफुल मींस जानबूझकर आपने कोई गलती करी. आपको बताया था 10,000 की परचेज करनी, आप फिर भी मिस्टर जेड को बिजनेस देने के लिए 15,000 की परचेज करी. नाउ यू मस्ट इंडेमनिफाई द फर्म मींस नाउ यू मस्ट compensate the firm for the loss that the firm has suffered because of your actions. And what is the meaning of right to be indemnified? Means right to be compensated. So if any partner has incurred any liabilities in the ordinary course of business, then he should also be compensated for that. इसमें बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल जाता है हमारा in case of any emergency like fire occurred in the firm's business and Mr. Ray just jumped into the fire and tried to save all the other things and he got injured and he was hospitalized. Now because he was taking care of the firm's business, rupees 3,000 were spent on his injury. So now firm will pay him this rupees because he has the right to be indemnified. He has tried to protect the firm from. So any act done in the emergency where you're trying to protect the firm from any loss, any liability, as a prudent man means, as a man of ordinary prudence, आपने अपनी अकलमंदी लगाई. Prudent means a wise man, an intelligent man, how you will actually behave in a situation if it is your own business. If it is your own business, then also you'll try to save the files and you'll jump into the fire, you'll call the fire extinguishers. Similarly, here Mr. Ray is trying to protect the business and he got injured and 3,000 rupees was spent on his injury. So now the firm needs to compensate the same amount to Mr. A. Clear ho gaya? Now we have another topic coming up, that is partnership property. Yahan tak everything is clear. Yes, Ankit, even if there is no agreement for interest on advances has to be paid at 6% per annum. Interest on capital, Vaishnavi, depends. If there is an agreement, then we will follow that. Ashwini, I told advance means when a loan is given by a partner to the firm. Ashwini, I hope it's now clear. You're asking again, explain in Hindi. Advance का मतलब होता है अगर किसी पार्टनर ने पैसा दिया हुआ है फर्म को, तो जब हम किसी को पैसा देते हैं, उधार पे देते हैं, लोन देते हैं, तो उसके ऊपर हमें इंटरेस्ट मिलता है. वो इंटरेस्ट आपको 6% पर एनम पे मिलेगा. Thank you so much, Miss Sakshita. Miss Sakshita says that she's enjoying my teaching and now she has got confidence about law and all the concepts are getting clearer day by day. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to read it and I'm so proud of you. All of you will definitely do well, I'm sure. Okay. Miss Priyanka, I hope now your doubts are clear. You can ask if any point is not clear, okay? I know the chapter is too much. It's very, relationship of partners chapter is lengthy, but trust me, it's very simple. Break it into points, na, then only you'll understand. देखो, अभी तक हमने क्या क्या करा? एक बार क्विक रिवीजन में ये टेबल पे आ जाना. जब भी कोई डाउट आए ना स्टडी मटेरियल में, बहुत ब्यूटीफुल टेबुलर इंफॉर्मेशन दी हुई है. So you can just simply go there. So we have covered mutual rights and liabilities. We now know what are the rights and liabilities to participate, consulted, all those 4-5 rights. Then we have discussed, we have not yet to come with the relation with the third parties. We are still here, mutual rights and liabilities. We have discussed their duties. It is your duty to perform diligently, nicely, carefully, be honest, be fair. That's it. And the 5 rights that are for your profit and loss account rights, which I call link it with the accounts books. Remember what rights, what profits you have been giving, what capital you have been giving, and how you have to indemnify if any partner has done anything for the firm. That's it. Now we are going to understand how third parties are related. But before that, we need to know what is the meaning of partnership property, which is again very, very interesting topic. सेक्शन 9, 10, 11, 12 हो गया. सेक्शन 14 पे आ जाते हैं. फिर से हम ये नहीं रीड करेंगे, हम सीधा एनालिसिस ऑफ सेक्शन 14 पे आ जाएंगे. बट ऑल माय स्टूडेंट्स नो बाय नाउ व्हाट इज द प्रॉपर्टी. The joint partnership property, the property of the firm is known as partnership property. So there are 5 partners A, B, C, D, E. A bought table from home, B bought chairs from the home for doing the business, C ने chandelier lights लगवा दिए, अच्छी lighting लगवा दी business के लिए, D ने अच्छी paintings मंगवा दी, Mughal Empire वाली good paintings. They just wanted to give it a nice interior look, and Mr. E has put nice tiles for the washroom of the firm that they have made. Now, all these things partners have jointly contributed, children, whatever table, chair, furniture, stationery, pen, pencil, rubber, scale, laptops, whatever they have bought for the purpose of business is known as the partnership property. It is not your individual property. It is the joint estate of all the partners. तो चाहे आप common stock कह लो, चाहे आप joint estate कह लो, चाहे आप partnership assets कह लो, joint stock कह लो, all these terms mean one and the same thing, that is partnership property. It means all the rights and interests in which the partners have collectively contributed. So number one thing is, which we call it as a capital. So this is the capital, all the property rights which the partners have bought as a common stock. Common stock का मतलब होता है capital जो आपने invest करी है, जो business में आप लेकर आए हो. And the second point is all the assets that you have purchased during the course of business. So partner क्या 2 चीजें लेकर आता है, एक तो capital लेकर आता है, पैसा लगाएगा, investment in the business, and second thing he brings assets from the home. Whatever investments you have made in the business is known as partnership property. Please remember, for the business of the home. So A, B, C, D, E are partners, and Mr. C, instead of putting chandeliers in the firm's business also, he has put a chandelier at home also. So will the chandelier which he has put at home will also become partnership property? No, ma'am. Only the one that he has got for the business, for the firm, for the place of business, that is only considered as the partnership property. क्लियर हो गया. फर्स्ट पॉइंट का मतलब है कैपिटल, सेकंड पॉइंट का मतलब है ऑल द एसेट्स दैट वी परचेज ड्यूरिंग द कोर्स ऑफ बिजनेस बिकम योर पार्टनरशिप प्रॉपर्टी. एंड थर्ड पॉइंट इज गुडविल. गुडविल तो आपको मेरे से ज्यादा आती है क्योंकि आप अकाउंट्स पे क्वेश्चंस भी करते हो, परचेज कंसिडरेशन कैलकुलेट करते हो, गुडविल की पोजीशन निकालते हो, वैल्यूएशन करते हो, सॉल्व करते हो. बट गुडविल होता क्या है? You all know what is goodwill. Goodwill means goodwill has not been defined under any act. It's very easy to understand but difficult to define. You cannot define goodwill in words. It generally means the reputation that the business has built over the years. So let's take an example. Miss Priyanka and Aditi have been doing business from last 10 years. So Priyanka and Aditi have been establishing their business. They are into great business merchants of cloth merchants, and they have been dealing in good quality cloth, and they have been doing partnership business together from last 10 years. Now, over the 10 years, they have built a reputation in the market. Everybody who is going in XYZ market where they are having business, Ms. Priyanka and Aditya having business, everybody know that these girls really do great business together and they have built up a reputation. Anyone who want to purchase cloth, they generally come to them only in that market. Belonging to the same class of business means there are 5-6 more shopkeepers who are doing the same business, but they have built a reputation over the year. They are always supplying a fine quality and they're always getting good profits and they're always greeting the customers very nicely. So they have built up a reputation. Everybody is recommending them. So this is how the goodwill is defined. So law says that you cannot define goodwill, but you can just understand it by the reputation over the years of business that you have been doing over and above the normal level of profits. So everyone is earning equal profits of 10,000 per year, but these people are earning a reputation as well. So कई बार सिर्फ monetary consideration is जरूरी नहीं होती है, एक emotional value, एक attachment that the customer is forming with your business is known as a goodwill for the firm. So now if the partnership firm is dissolved, to have the goodwill is sold for the benefit of all the partners. So you also value the goodwill. This is known as valuation of goodwill is also done. So whenever you sell the partnership business, you always get the payment for the goodwill of the firm also. That is why it says the goodwill is also regarded as the property of the firm. So it says although section does not define goodwill intangible asset है, देखा नहीं जा सकता है, but property of firm में तीन चीजें हैं. एक तो जो capital that partners have bought in, another the assets that they have purchased in the course of business, and third is the goodwill, which is an intangible asset. It is the reputation that you have built over the years. Now, whenever you sell any partnership business, you should always charge for the goodwill also. So आपने टेबल चेयर फर्नीचर सब बेच दिया एंड आपने पेमेंट गुडविल की भी ली. Why? Because goodwill is also the partnership property. That is why goodwill is considered to be the property of the partnership. It can be sold separately or along with other properties. You're selling of goodwill, right? That is what is the meaning of valuation of goodwill. Purchase consideration निकाला and goodwill की भी payment देते हैं क्योंकि goodwill भी partnership की property मानी जाती है. Any partner upon the sale of goodwill makes an agreement with the buyer that I will not carry on the similar business within a specified period or limit and not containing anything section 27 of the Indian Contract Act. Such agreement is valid if the restrictions imposed are reasonable. Very, very important. अब किसको याद है section 27 of the Indian Contract Act? पढ़ा हुआ ना आपने कि अगर कोई पार्टनर फर्म में बिजनेस कर रहा है, इफ यू आर अ पार्टनर मिस्टर ए नाउ एंड अदिति एंड प्रियंका वर डूइंग बिजनेस एंड मिस्टर ए वाज आल्सो पार्टनर विद देम. Now, Mr. A is leaving the firm and they're dissolving the firm and making the sale of the goodwill. So if sale of goodwill is happening, Mr. A cannot do the same competing business in the same lane, in the same specified area, and for certain number of years or time period. This is something which is written under section 27 of the Indian Contract Act, which talks about the restrictions in case of trade. So if you are doing any trade and commerce business with any person, once you leave that person, law prohibits you to do a competing business. Why? Because now Mr. A has also gained a lot of knowledge by working with Aditya and Priyanka. He has good knowledge about this cloth that they're purchasing. He knows who are the wholesalers. He knows about the wholesaler price rates. He knows how the profits have to be made, how the retailers have to be sold, at what amount of profit we have been charging from the customers. And he also knows the customers. So now if I, Mr. A, open up the same shop in साथ वाली दुकान में, उसने पार्टनरशिप छोड़कर साथ वाली दुकान में अपनी दुकान शुरू कर ली. तो लॉ कहते हैं ये सेक्शन 27 आप इंडियन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट का फॉलो कीजिए. देयर आर सर्टेन रिस्ट्रिक्शंस व्हिच आर इम्पोज्ड बाय द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. यू कैन नॉट हैव द सेम competing business because we have already sold our goodwill, our reputation has been paid for. Now restrictions are imposed, you cannot carry the same business. हाँ वो साथ वाली दुकान में चाय की दुकान खोल रहा है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, but he should not be having the similar kind of business and for a certain time period. Now this line is very very amazing. Restrictions imposed should be reasonable, which I generally try to give the students as a question also. So if I try to say that Mr. A cannot do the business for next 25 years, are these restrictions reasonable? Can I say that, okay, Mr. A will not do the same kind of business because it is written under section 27 of the Indian Contract Act? So he cannot do the business for next 25 years. Are these restrictions reasonable? Yes or no, ma'am? Yes, Elfit Uncle, it is also a name that you have built for the firm. Yes, Abhishek, you can decide the rate. Otherwise, 6% per annum in the absence of agreement has to be followed. Ankit Jha is saying my query is advances are given, so my query is interest. Yes, even if the firm has got dissolved, then also till the time you have not repaid the advance, the loan that the partner has given, you will continue paying him the interest. Miss Manisha Raj Purohit, expulsion of partner will be covering in the chapter later. अब मेरे क्वेश्चन का आंसर दे दो आप लोग. Advances are given by firm to partners, so my query. Again, you're sending the same query. I hope, Ankit, you have understood. How we calculate the value of goodwill, Miss Priyanka? When you do accounts chapter, you cover it over there. In law, there is no need to do calculations. It's okay, Miss Tanmeet Kaur. Sections are not important. Even if you don't remember, it's okay. Ankur Verma, time limit कहाँ से आ गया? So time limit यहाँ से आया है, where it is written the agreement shall be valid only if the restrictions imposed are reasonable. So these restrictions, when you are telling him that you should not carry on the similar business and within the specified period, there are also certain restrictions regarding time period. So if I try to impose a restriction that this person cannot do the same business, ये तो समझ आ गए, ठीक है, हम same business specified limits में नहीं करेंगे, and I said for 25 years. So now all those who have said, no, ma'am, it is not valid, it is not reasonable. Very good, Aditi, because it is a huge period of time. This cannot be done. These restrictions are not reasonable. Abhishek, Rabish, Mahima, Ankur, Shreya, Aryan, Aditi, Sichang, Kavya, Thomas, Siddharth, all of you are correct. Shruti, Ritu, Krishna, all of you are correct, children. Why? Because the restrictions cannot be so huge. They cannot be so much. 25 years is a long time period. Or I say that you cannot. So I'm telling you, we will not carry the similar business in the same lane for next 25 years. This is not a valid restriction. But I say for next 5 years or 6 years or maybe maximum 10 years, then it's also fine and valid. All right. So I hope you have understood this point. Mr. Ankur Verma, I hope this point is now clear to you as well. Let's go further now. So property of the firm is done. And the property shall be exclusively belonging to a person, does not become the partnership property just because you're using it for the sake of the business of partnership. Now, this section 14 and 15 together applied are very, very interesting. It says application of the property of the firm. So how you have to apply the property of the firm? It shall be used exclusively for the business purposes. Can I say I have opened a partnership office in Rajouri Garden in Delhi, and every day I have a birthday party at home. I go and do it at my business place. No, you cannot do it. It's not your private property. It's your business property. It can only, yes, you want to organize a business official party for the clients over there. Please feel free, consult the other partners. You can use it. But the property of the firm has to be used exclusively and exclusively for the purpose of business only and not for your personal purposes. But what is the meaning of this line, children? It says where the property is belonging to a person. So you have the office in Rajouri Garden in New Delhi. You have the place of business, but there is a Mr. A is staying nearby only in Rajouri Garden, and he has a huge house, and there are so many servants in his house. And most of the time, B, C, and D other partners go to Mr. A's house only, that we'll sit over there and we'll relax and we'll have a cup of coffee and we'll make the business decisions. Now, just because B, C, and D are going to Mr. A's house for all the business meetings and all their client meetings, they generally utilize A's house because he has a huge house and they're all servants in the house. Everybody's there to help out and they feel very comfortable and at ease. And they generally do all their business transactions at A's house. So will A's house also become property of the business? Yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am? A's house will also become the property of the business. Yes, Mr. Ankit Jha, then also firm advances loan. हमने तो partner advances loan करा, हमने तो इसके बारे में बात ही नहीं करी firm advances loan. So when you have understood interest on advances, please remember I made you write it down. Advance means a loan given by a partner to the firm. We have nowhere discussed about the firm advances. So your question is absolutely incorrect. We have not discussed about the firm advances. We have discussed about the advance. That means loan given by a partner to the firm. Okay. Okay, good, Priyanka. You have understood. Nice. Ankur Verma, all right, clear now. Anushka, Thomas, Shriya, Ankur, Mahima, Alfie Thangal, Vadekar Sahib, Aditi, Priyanka, Shri, yes. No, ma'am, it will not become business property. Mr. Sachang, absolutely correct. So you all have understood, children, just because we are utilizing certain property for having business decision will not make it exclusively another person's property, will not become partnership property. Only this Rajouri Garden place of business, which we have entitled, which we have incorporated for the partnership business, that is only considered to be the partnership property. But एक और interesting line थी, such property will become if there is an agreement. अब वो A's house was being used so much that they made an agreement that this corner of the house will also be the partnership property. So they made the office only, a small office only in his house. The servants also got so fed up that these 4 partners keep coming every day and I have to serve them tea and coffee. Why don't you open up the office here only? So now if they have made an agreement and they have taken a small place in the house, then children, definitely it will be considered as the partnership property. तो बड़े ध्यान से each and every line पढ़नी है, हमने कुछ भी skip नहीं होने देना. So number 1, exclusively if you're using anyone's property, it will not become the partnership property. But if you have made an agreement that yes, we want to utilize this as partnership property, then section 14, 3 things we know, the capital, all the assets and goodwill is known as partnership property. Therefore, yes, now this will also become the partnership property. Clear ho gaya? Okay. Section 15, analysis of section 15 is again very simple. You simply have to use the partnership property for the purpose of business. मैंने अभी आपको बताया आप birthday party घर की कर रहे हो तो allowed नहीं है. Let's take another interesting example. There is a car which you have taken for the purpose of business. So A, B, and C, whenever they go for any client meeting or any business they want to do, they have taken this business car they have purchased. All of them have paid money. It was 5 lakhs car and they have contributed equally and invested in this car for the purpose of business. They have kept this car. Now, Mr. Ray said that I have to go for a client meeting with Mr. D and I'm taking this car because then this car becomes the property of the firm. है ना? यही सीखा ना हमने section 14 में. If you have invested or purchased any assets for the purpose of business, that become partnership property. So Mr. Ray said, I have a meeting with Mr. D. Can I take the partnership property? B and C said, yes, yes, yes. Please utilize the car of the business for the purpose of business because you can use this property exclusively for the purpose of business. But Mr. Ray thought it's a weekend and after meeting Mr. D, let's take my family also for a picnic and trip on this car. And he got the petrol filled in the car. It is for the purpose of business, made the entry in the books of accounts, car utilized for meeting with the client. And ahead he went with his family picnic. Can Mr. A utilize the car for family picnic as well after meeting with Mr. D? Can he do that? पता ही है आपको आंसर अब है ना. There's a separate entity between no Ritu Tiwari. There is no separate entity. Partners and business are one and the same thing. Separate entity का concept बच्चा उसमें आएगा आपके कंपनी में. अभी confuse नहीं होना. Okay. Very good, Shriya. Personal property will not become partner's property. Thank you, Vaishnavi Chaudhary. Good, Shruti, it's clear. No, because he can't go to trip. Excellent, Ankur Verma. Why he can't go to the trip? Because it has to be exclusively used for the purpose of business. Even after doing the business with Mr. D, you cannot take the partnership property for your personal purpose and use. Samajh aa gaya sabko? Yes, I've got all the answers. No, so which is correct. So, Vaishnavi Chaudhary, where we are converting the personal property, we have taken some part of the property as a partnership property, then definitely that will be considered as the part of the property of the business itself. Personal property to uski rahegi. That is not that we are taking, we are not purchasing his house. It still remains Mr. A's house only. If the business is of marriage law and one of the partner is going to marry, then he can. So, Mr. Ankur Verma, there's so many ifs and buts to the situation. Now, your business is that you're having that marriage loan and you have allowed, all the partners have agreed that hamara hi business hai. Let's take another interesting example. You have the sale and purchase of chocolates only. So you decided that one of the partners is having birthday party at home or his son is having his birthday. So you contributed few chocolates from your business only. So that is mutual understanding between partners. Any such thing can definitely be done. It is not that you're misusing the partnership property. In this example, which I just gave you, car example, Mr. A was intentionally misusing the property. He was taking the car for family picnic without informing BNC. Yes, if you're doing it after informing BNC and BNC have been quite liberal to you, please do as per the agreement. Simple. But otherwise, Section 15 does not allow you to do that. Okay? Okay. Section 16, personal profits earned by the partners. थोड़ा सा presentation भी देख लें कहाँ पहुंची है हमारी presentation, because you asked me to go to the study material. So this we have already done, rights of the partners. Partnership property also we have discussed. So this is just a tabular information so that you can remember easily. Now let's talk about personal profits earned by the partners. So till now we have understood you cannot use the personal property as partnership property. You cannot use the partnership property for personal use. Similarly, you cannot make any personal profits from the firm's business. Now, like I was just telling you, sale and purchase of chocolates. So Mr. Ray thought, let me take some chocolates from the shop and I will sell it outside and earn the profits and keep the profits to myself. Sounding fishy, sounding suspicious. He cannot do that. You're part of the business. You have to complete and do all the stock count of the firm's business. All the chocolates should be kept in the business only, and together you have to do the sale and purchase, and then only you can share the profits. You cannot say that I went to America and I bought certain extra stuff for my business and now I'm keeping it to myself and I'm selling it and I'm earning profits out of the firm's business and keeping it through the myself. Personal means मैंने अपने पास रख लिया. Keeping the profits to yourself. So any personal profits, if any of the partner is making, he should return those profits to the firm. So point number 1, section 16 का क्या कहता है? If partner earns any personal profits from the firm, he is liable to return those profits. He should return it back to the firm. Write it down. If the partner earns any personal profits from the firm, he is liable to return those profits to the firm. It's his liability, it's his duty. Section 16 says that you're not allowed to keep any personal profits from earning from the firm. So A, B, C, and D set up a partnership business for refining sugar. This is your study material example. A, who was himself a wholesale grocer. So A एक partnership business में था, sugar refine करते थे, and खुद एक A sole proprietor भी रह चुका है, wholesale grocer था. So he was very much aware about the variations in sugar market. He knew that when the prices are going up and down. So he purchased a lot of sugar at a low price and he kept it to himself. And when the firm was having need, without informing that the sugar belongs to him, he sold the sugar to the firm. Is he doing any kind of fraud? Definitely he has done fraud. He was supposed to buy the sugar and inform the other partners that this is what I've purchased, but instead of informing the partners, he kept the sugar at his own place. And later, when the firm was in need of the stuff, he sold it to him and earned certain profits. He was aware about the price variations. If, for example, he has purchased it for rupees 10 per packet and now he's selling it for rupees 15 per packet to the firm. So how much profit? Rupees 5 per packet is the profit that he was making. Section 16 says he's bound to return these rupees 5 per packet profit that he has made. He cannot keep these personal profits. If he does so, the firm will throw him out of the firm. The partners will throw him out of the firm. So A was bound to account for the profits, whatever he have made in this transaction. It was said that you are not disclosing the profits, you're not informing us, you're trying to cheat us, you're trying to commit frauds, and you're eating profits from the firm's business. This is not allowed. Section 16 will be applied and Mr. A will become responsible to pay back all the profits that he have earned. Second example. पहला वाला केस क्या था? Whatever personal profits you are making, you should return it. Second case, you can write down, you cannot do a competing business with your firm's same business. So A, B, and C and D started partnership business for importing salt from foreign ports and then selling it to Chittagong. So they were purchasing the salt from the foreign ports. So business क्या था? Foreign ports में से salt आएगा and Chittagong में जाकर वो sale करेंगे. A struck certain transactions of salt in his own account, which were found to be of the same business as carried on by the partnership. So in simpler language, A was also doing the similar kind of business. A struck certain transactions means I am doing the business with you. Say, for example, A, B, C, D are into a business of cement transactions. So I purchased the cement and A was doing a personal business at his home also of sale and purchase of cement. So कुछ cement की बोरियां जो सामान में आई थी, he has kept certain cement bags at his home that I will do the sale and purchase on personal basis. Here it was held that he cannot do any competitive business and he should report to the firm all the profits that he have made on this business. So whatever salt accounts that he has kept, salt packets he has kept in his own house, whatever sale and purchase profits he has earned, because he is not allowed to do any competing business, therefore he should return the profits made from this transaction. So in the first one, you have written personal profit. Second, you can write down, no partner can do any competing business with the firm. If he does so, he must pay all the profits back to the firm. So if you are doing this kind of thing, then you must pay back all the profits. No partner can do any competing business. If he does, then he must pay all the profits back to the firm. All right. Thank you, Priyanka. All your queries are solved. Great. Misuse, Mr. Raman, misuse means like the car example that I've given, and drawings from the business means I have withdrawn something. Like I was just saying, some chocolates I've taken home for my kids. So that is my business. I've done certain drawings. I will show the entry of drawings made by so-and-so partner. Is making the loss, so he will be given liable. Yes, if you are doing any loss, you're not going to report the loss. You will not be asking for the other partners. Anyways, you're doing a fraud. Somebody is asking that you will have to ask for the loss also. No, you will only need to give back the profits to the firm. Clear? Section 16 is also now clear. So we have just 5 minutes left and I really want to do that descriptive case study with all of you because you keep asking me how to write the answer and I have written how to write the answer I want to teach you today. So I give you 2 minutes. Just read this question in front of you on the screen. And then we will discuss its answers as well. Miss Thomas, we are just doing that writing practices right now only, so you can do this. X and Y are partners. They're dealing in electronic items. So recently, a new type of washing machine has come. X has a friend A who has good knowledge about washing machines. X picks up a meeting with a new client Z and requested his friend A to accompany him for this meeting. During the time of meeting, X introduced A, his friend, as a partner to Z. A remained silent and did not say anything. A was very actively participating, and Z, a trader, believed that A is also partner, and he supplied 120 washing machines to the firm on credit. On credit means udhar pe de diya, paisa abhi pending tha. After expiry of credit period, Z did not get the full amount. Now, this angry Z filed a case against X and A for the recovery of price. My children have to tell me, can we hold A, who was just a friend of X, also liable for the price under Indian Partnership Act? ये तो बेचारा दोस्त था जो साथ में गया था मीटिंग करने, और अब पैसा तो दिया नहीं फॉर्म ने, एक्स एंड वाई पार्टनर्स हैं, तो जेड ने कहीं गलत केस तो नहीं फाइल कर दिया अगेंस्ट एक्स एंड ए? आई थिंक जेड शुड बी फाइलिंग अ केस अगेंस्ट एक्स एंड वाई. व्हाट डू यू थिंक, चिल्ड्रन? कैन ही रिकवर द मनी फ्रॉम ए एज वेल? Thank you, Rabish Chaudhary. Yes, reply me now, all of you. Okay, thank you, Shruti Pathak. So can we recover A is liable? Okay, Uncle Verma says yes. Ayesha Tasneem says no, he's not liable because he is not registered partner. Acha ji. Okay, ऐसा भी हो सकता है. A is liable. RN says yes. Savroop Sahaya says yes. Ritu says yes. Abhishek says yes. Partner by estoppel. Silence. Acceptance. Ankur Verma, good. Very good. All those who have said A becomes partner by estoppel. So, Ayesha, I was just trying to confuse you people, and you actually got confused and you said that A is not registered partner. I was intentionally doing that because so that you will give me wrong answers, and you are the one who has given it also. A will be liable. Yes, ma'am, A is liable because when he remains silent, very good, Pramod K. That means acceptance has been shown. Shriya Tiwari, Shruti, Priyanka, Suchang, Vaishnavi, Vaishnav, Banwari, Aman, all of you are correct, children. I'm Gaura, Tanmeet, and I'm getting huge, nice explanations also. थोड़ी देर में और देती है आपको, तो मुझे लगता है आपने आंसर ही पूरा फ्रेम कर देना था. ग्रेट मैम. केस एक्स और वाई पर होगा. मिस्टर नरेंद्र सुनानी, ये देखो ऐसे ट्रैप में फंस जाते बच्चे. बच्चा वो जानबूझकर बोला था मैंने आपको कहने के लिए. एक्चुअली में A is also liable, so I will tell you in a while how he becomes liable. Tanmeet is correct, Ashwini is correct, Mahima Jain correct. A is liable. Swati Giri, Ankit Jha, Tamanna, Aditi, very good. X will also be liable. Okay, Narendra, X is anyways liable, but A will also be liable. Siddhartha Kumar, yes, ma'am. Z can recover because he has represented himself as a partner by holding out under section 28. Wonderful. Great. So अब सबको समझ आ गया कि हम सबको आंसर पता है. Thank you so much, Ritu Tiwari. I'm glad to read this. Okay, thank you, Ayushi Botra. Thank you so much, child. Okay, अब आंसर देखते हैं इसका. अब हमें आंसर तो पता लग गया कि A is also liable. Section 28 भी जिसको याद है पता चल गया. Partner by estoppel भी पता लग गया. Partner by holding out भी पता लग गया. Now, today I'm going to tell you in last 2-3 minutes how to write an answer to this. Number one, the first paragraph that you have to give to such kind of descriptive questions is, it should always be concerned provision. Section 28 of Indian Partnership Act. नहीं आपको section याद? As per the provisions of Indian Partnership Act. That's it. Partnership by holding out is also known as partnership by estoppel. As it is from the study material I have written, you can frame it in your own words if you want. When you hold out yourself as a partner or allow others to do so, then you are stopped from denying the character that you have made the creditors believe that you have. And any person who has induced to believe that he is a partner, he may be allowed to represent himself as a partner. Both the cases, it is only the person to whom the representation has been made should have acted to enforce the liability. Simple definition of partner by holding out, as it is from your study material, has been taken. Feel free to frame it in your own words. आपने पहले पैराग्राफ में बताना है सिर्फ एग्जामिनर को कि what is the meaning of partnership by holding out. क्लियर हो गया? सेक्शन 28 की हमने रेफरेंस दे दिया, कंसर्न प्रोविजन हो गया. Facts of the case. Facts of the case is a summary of the story that is given by the examiner. I have not framed a single line of my own. It is just the way we take it from the comprehensions when we were small kids, we used to do English paper comprehensions. Teacher used to give us a question. We used to find the answer in the comprehension. Same passage में से आपने facts of the case बनाकर story की summary लिखनी है जो exam में दी है. In the given case, A, who is just a friend of X, was introduced as a partner. A remained silent, showed active participation. Z, on the representation, Z supplied this washing machine. Now Z wants to recover the money from both X and A. कितना सुंदर बनाकर लिख दिया, लिखा वही है जो एग्जाम में दिया हुआ है, बट लिखना पड़ेगा, एनालिसिस तो करोगे ना, ऐसे थोड़ी ना 6 मार्क्स मिल जाएंगे. कंक्लूजन, अब ये जो आपने मुझे आंसर भेजा था, A, the friend of X, is also liable because he becomes partner by holding out. You can also write the conclusion on the basis of above analysis and provisions. You can write down this additional word, on the basis of above analysis and provision. We conclude that A, the friend, will also become liable because he is partner by holding out. He represented himself, he permitted himself. Therefore, he will be liable to Z. Only to Z he is liable, children, not to any other person, because that is the person on whose faith he has given the credit to the firm. So please remember how you have to write the answers. We'll try to take up more such kind of descriptive case studies, and I will give you such questions and you try framing the answers also in your own language. Okay, so I hope it's clear now. One thing I got to learn, we should revise, stick to what is necessary. Nothing. Very good, Pramod K. Thank you so much. And I love the respect that you have shown in this message. Facts of the case in conclusion. Yes, Priyanka, you can give the titles also. Otherwise, it's absolutely up to you. The titles have been given over here to just make you clear how you have to write it. Definitely, Mr. Abhishek. I'll try to do that as well. Thank you, Shreya. You can give headings as well. Underlining headings always give a good representation. Miss Anushka Jaiswal. It's always good. All right. Thank you, Ankur. Thank you, Shri. Yes. Thank you, children. So I can't see any more queries now. So let's wind up and see you all on Wednesday and we'll complete this chapter. Thank you so much. Please keep revising. Thank you.